On most world maps, Greenland looks gigantic. Almost the same size as Africa. But in reality, Africa is so massive. You could fit Greenland inside it more than 14 times. So why do our maps completely distort the planet? And if maps can lie about size, what else are they hiding? For centuries, billions of people have looked at the same world map. In classrooms, on globes, inside textbooks, even on digital maps today. And without realizing it, most people grew up with a completely distorted view of Earth. Because the map we use most often was never designed to show the true size of countries. The reason Greenland looks enormous is because of something called the Mercator projection. Mercator projection, originally created in 1569 by cartographer Gerardus Mercator. This map projection was revolutionary for navigation. Why? Because sailors could travel in straight compass directions using it. But there was a problem. Earth is a sphere. Maps are flat. And turning a sphere into a flat rectangle always creates distortion. The farther a landmass is from the equator, the more stretched it becomes. And Greenland sits very close to the Arctic. So on Mercator maps, it becomes massively exaggerated. Here's the reality. Greenland's actual area is around 2.1 million square kilometers. Africa, more than 30 million square kilometers. That means Africa is about 14 times larger than Greenland. 30 million square kilometer over 2.1 million square kilometers, approximately 14. But on many maps, they look almost equal. And Greenland is not the only illusion. Canada appears enormous. Russia looks unstoppable. Europe seems larger than South America. But many of these perceptions are heavily distorted by projection. Imagine peeling an orange and trying to flatten the peel perfectly on table. You can't do it without stretching or tearing something. Maps have the same problem. The Mercator projection preserves shape and direction, but sacrifices true size. That's why areas near the poles become inflated. At extreme latitudes, distortion becomes so severe that some regions appear several times larger than reality. Meanwhile, countries near the equator, like those in Africa and South America, often appear smaller than they truly are. Africa is actually so large that you could fit the United States, China, India, most of Europe inside it, and still have space left. Yet on many traditional maps, Africa visually looks far smaller than it really is. This distorted perception shaped how generations imagined the world. Some experts even argue that maps influence geopolitical perception itself. Because when something appears larger, people subconsciously see it as more important. What's even stranger? Many digital maps still rely on Mercator-style projections today, including online navigation systems. Why? Because Mercator remains extremely useful for navigation and directional accuracy. It works well for zooming and route calculations. So even though it distorts scale, it's still practical. That means one of humanity's most widely used visual systems is technically inaccurate EUA design. The truth is, there is no perfect flat map of Earth. Every projection sacrifices something. Some preserve size. Others preserve shape. Others preserve distance. But a perfectly accurate flat map, mathematically impossible. The only truly accurate world map is a globe. So no, Greenland is not bigger than Africa. Not even close. But for centuries, our maps made it look that way. And it's a reminder that sometimes the way we see the world depends entirely on how it's drawn.